Hello, boys and girls. It's Wednesday, May 6th, and this is what you have to do for Mrs. Brenton today. So here's a quick look at our calendar for the rest of the school year. So you had Monday and Tuesday off. Those were your days to catch up on any work. And today is really the only day that you have work for Mrs. Brenton. Tomorrow you'll have work for Maestra Yahira. And then Friday, you'll have a little bit of science and social studies from both of us. And you can also use that day to catch up on anything else that you haven't been able to do. Because we didn't have reading groups this week, I am going to be hosting lunch with Mrs. Brenton on Zoom at noon on Friday. And both yellow group and blue group are invited. All right, so here's your checklist for today. And this really applies to both groups. You're going to be doing your morning message, reader's workshop, writing, centers, and guided reading. So let's start by talking about our morning message. Again, it's a letter, so make sure you put the date at the top, May 6th, 2020. And then our letter reads, Dear Happy Helpers, my family is going to help plant trees at our park. Trees help clean the air. The leaves can trap dust and other things in the air. Trees help our planet. Sincerely, Mrs. Brenton. When you're done fixing up that letter, I want you to use the leaves below to write words that describe a tree. So you're going to be writing adjectives or describing words for trees in those leaves, just 2 of them. After that, we have our chit chat. For this activity, you're going to be using the words where and when to complete the sentences. So you're going to be practicing with your question words to see which one best completes these sentences. And then when you're done doing that, you are going to write a little sentence explaining how you take care of your belongings so you don't lose them. All right, so for Reader's Workshop today, you are going to be listening to a story all about Mother's Day. So this Sunday is Mother's Day. And if you are someone who has a mom that you live with, you can certainly celebrate that day with her. If you have a grandmom who's really special to you, or an aunt, or even a neighbor who's really special to you, you can also use this day as a day to thank them and show them that you love them. So click on this YouTube link below and listen to the read aloud of The Night Before Mother's Day by Natasha Wing. And when you're done listening to the story, tell someone who the characters were and the setting. And then what did the girls do for their mom for Mother's Day? What do you think the girl's mom liked best about her surprises? And what would be something your mom would like as a surprise? And be sure to give that mom a hug and a kiss because Mother's Day is pretty special. So for Writer's Workshop today, I posted a video last week that was going to help you to get started thinking about book 2 of your series. So if you haven't watched that video, go ahead and do that again today. Then I want you to grab your planning paper, which is the paper that you used to make the different covers for the books in your series, and I want you to choose which book you'll write next. Then I want you to touch and tell. Grab your writing paper and begin planning your second book. Remember that as you touch and tell, you want to make plans for what sort of trouble your characters will get into or what sort of problem they'll have in the story. Then you want to make plans for how their problems will be solved. And this book is a different story from the original book, but it's going to feature the same characters, and I talk a lot more about that in my video. Then you're going to write the first and second pages of the rough draft of your book. So remember, this is a rough draft. You don't have to make the illustrations. That's going to take a lot of extra time. If you want to, that's great, but you don't have to. This is just the rough draft. Focus instead on good writing and adding good detail. You'll have plenty of time to do the illustrations when you make the final copy. All right, so for guided reading today, since we're not meeting on Zoom, I have 2 options for you. So option 1 is to just pick one of those leveled reading passages, read the story, and answer the questions. Option 2 is to choose a book on epic that you can read independently. And remember, a book that you can read independently might not necessarily be the same level book that you read in guided reading groups with me. An independent book follows our 5-finger rule. So remember, when you pick a book, open the book to any page and hold up your hand. If there are only 0 to 1 time that you have a little bit of trouble on a word, that book is too easy. If there's only 1 or 2 times where you have trouble on a word, that's a good choice. 4 times, well, you might want to give it a try. It might be okay. 5 times, it's probably too hard. So we've practiced the 5-finger rule before, and that's the rule that we use to pick books for our independent reading time. So I want you to use that same rule when you're trying to find a book on Epic for yourself. So read that book, and then I want you to write me a summary. Remember, a good summary is going to tell me the names of the characters, the setting, the theme or the main topic of the book, which is, basically what the story is mostly about, and what happens first, next, and last. So the second option is a little bit more of a challenge. So if you want to challenge yourself, you can go ahead and pick that option. So there is only one center choice for today. You guys are going to be practicing with common and proper nouns. And to teach you a little bit more about what that means, there's a link to a YouTube video that'll walk you through that. But basically, common nouns are the general names for people, places, and things, right? So a noun describes a person, a place, or a thing. And common words like dog, cat, mom, dad, those are all common nouns. But a proper noun is a specific name. So instead of saying teacher, which is a common noun, Mrs. Brenton is a proper noun because that's my actual name. Or instead of saying school, which is a common noun, because you could be talking about any school, a proper noun would be the name for a school like Cherry Park Elementary. And we usually capitalize those proper nouns because they are names. And again, that video is going to really walk you through what all of that means. So when you're done watching the video, or if you feel like you have a good grasp on common nouns and proper nouns, show your understanding by completing this bubblegum coloring sheet. You're going to color all of the common nouns green and all of the proper nouns orange. And I know some of you would probably rather use different colors, and that's fine with me. So if you want to do purple and pink or red and blue, that's fine. Just color that crayon the color that you chose so I know which one you chose for common nouns and which ones you chose for proper nouns. All right, and as a bonus, if you want a little bit of an extra challenge, go on a noun hunt. Go around your house and make a list of common and proper nouns that you find. So you can make a chart and list all of the common nouns on one side and all of the proper nouns on the other side. So for example, if I was going around my house, I would put things like banana, table, sink in my common nouns column. But for proper nouns, I would list maybe my dog's name, which is Charlie, or the brand of the coffee, the name of the coffee that I drink, Archer Farms. So for social studies this week, we are going to use our time to get ourselves ready for Mother's Day. And I have created a YouTube video that will walk you through a step-by-step process for making paintings like you see in this picture. So this is a really simple directed drawing. I'll walk you through each step, and then you can use whatever art supplies you have at home to add color. And if you have a frame, great, you can use that. But if you don't, my video will also walk you through how to make your own picture frame at home. So this is a really special project for your mom. If you are able to do it and you can post a picture of it, I'd love to see it, but it's not required. This is just a little something special that we would have made in school for our moms if we were together, but I wanted you to still have the opportunity to make something fun for your mom for Mother's Day. So that YouTube video will walk you through the whole process. All right, so next we have just a few announcements. Remember, there are no Zoom reading groups this week, but I will be hosting lunch with Mrs. Brenton at noon on Friday. So bring your lunch. Oh, I spelled your wrong. Yikes. All right, bring your lunch and we can catch up. And this is open to both yellow and blue groups. All right, and reading groups will pick back up next week, so keep a lookout for epic assignments. And I emailed your grown-ups a pack of leveled reading passages that you can use on the days we don't meet on Zoom or on the days that we can't make it to a Zoom meeting. Some of you might not need to have additional packets because you already got plenty in the second round, but some of you have been using those packets, those reading passages up, and are running out. So you can use what I email your grown-ups as your leveled reading passages for the rest of the school year. If you don't have a printer at home, that's fine. Just read the story on the screen and record your answers in your guided reading notebook. All right, so don't forget to post your work on Class Dojo, and have a great rest of your week. I can't wait to see you guys on Friday.